Hey, so just finished putting 3 tanks of gas through this thing. That was 2 days ago, and so I'm just going to go ahead and take the body off and richen it up a little bit. I'm also going to give you a quick tour of the DRX and show you some of the features that I noticed that I really like, and also some of the features that I don't like. First of all, things I do like. These are big, meaty body pins. They're good body pins. And so there's the body, as you can see on the inside. They got the chrome there. Normally you'd have to paint these yourself. And got the windows in here. You can see where they masked everything off. It's pretty nice. I kind of prefer a white undercoat instead of a black undercoat, but whatever. All the decals are very well attached and very nice. The blue, it's hard to tell. It's real shady in my backyard right now, but the blue actually has this really nice sparkle to it. So yeah, so nice body. When I got it, the spoiler had come detached. One thing, and it's already starting to kind of pull apart again. One thing that I plan on doing is taking these 2 screws out and pull the top part off. As you can see, it's a 2-piece here, and then I'm gonna put some set screws right here, and that'll help hold it on better, because if you look on the bottom, if you can even see it, it's really just a piece of double-sided tape right here, and that's it. And it's like one roll and whoosh, this thing's gonna just come right off. On the one hand, you'd probably kind of want it to come off because that way it doesn't break. You screw it on, you roll over this thing too many times, it's just gonna break off. Okay, so here it is, the Kyosho DRX in the buff. Some things that are pretty standard these days. We've got battery box, radio. One thing I like about it is these are both held together by separate pins. The pin goes through, and there's basically like a plastic washer right here that holds these 2 pieces on. It's actually a really great design. These aren't rubber sealed or anything. That's okay, unless you plan on doing a lot of muddy driving, which I honestly wouldn't recommend. You could probably handle it, but this thing's really not specifically designed for that. The gas tank is over 100 cc's, not by much. I think it's 103 or 105, something like that. I don't remember. Nice big heatsink, nice big air filter. The 2 servos are exactly the same for steering and throttle. I think that's okay, as far as I can tell. I might eventually replace this with a high-tech Metal Gear servo, maybe a HS645 MG. That seems like a really great servo. It's fast and really strong, but we'll see how this one holds up. If it strips, I'll replace it with a high-tech. The shocks seem a little too soft by default. I'm guessing that they're probably going to need to get hardened up just a little bit. I do like how they come with adjustable rings here, so you can kind of cinch that down. You can also put spacers in here if you want to. So I do plan on doing that. These shock towers, or sorry, body pin towers here on the shock towers are adjustable, and you can just move these up and down, and you put a little pin right here to hold it in place. The front bumper seems very strong, and got a nice big foam bumper here. These are all pretty standard. This sits just inside the body. I would say about like that, which I think is good. Plenty of room on the pan for everything. It's almost like they took a 8-scale car and put 10-scale parts on it, but obviously this .18 Kyosho motor here is definitely not a 10th scale part. So there's a lot to like. It comes with really great tires. They're pre-glued. Comes with great looking rims, and I love white rims. And these tires just look like they're just really great on-road or off. They're nice and squishy. Feels like it's got kind of a soft foam inside here. This is a slide carb. This is the first slide carb I've ever owned. I really like it. It's pretty cool. I'm hoping that will make this car run really good and be really responsive. A lot more responsive than my HPI. It's got a double shoe clutch design under the clutch bell here. And the tension on the spur gear to the pinion is perfect. There's this nice perfect little tight tick, 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 tick. Just the tension there is perfect. One thing that's really unique, and I've never seen this ever in an RC car, is front and rear brake bias. So you can adjust, I'm assuming using this guy here and this guy here, how hard these brake, which I think is amazing. Also, the pads have a wearable lining in here, and then the disc itself is metal, which I think is a great design. It uses dog bones, front and rear. Uses dog bones for the front and rear linkage as well. These aren't CVDs, which is kind of a bummer. But it is. I believe there is an upgrade, so these aren't so bad. Things I don't like: this recoil starter appears to be pretty unreliable. I noticed when I pulled the recoil starter apart that you saw it bind up, and that was not a good thing. So I pulled it apart, and I noticed that basically this thing's pretty long, and there's just kind of too much. So what we did is we just fed this through. We tied a new knot. Kind of pull this. There's the new knot, and that way I can undo this if I want to. But I think I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to cut this. But I'm just going to leave this like this for a while. What I am going to do is pick up a starter box for this guy first chance I get. Unfortunately, a standard old school starter box does not work on this car, which I was wondering about. If you look on the bottom here, you can see that the port to the flywheel is really small, and a standard starter box does not fit that. I'm also not a big fan of the spur gear being exposed to the ground. I figure it's going to pick up dust, but it looks to me like that's just sort of the way it had to be designed. It's got a great exhaust note. The exhaust pipe seems really good. I really love how this thing sounds. One other thing I didn't like is it comes with this dark tubing, and dark tubing does you no good. I'm having a little trouble focusing here. Dark tubing does me no good if I need to see if I have fuel, especially since the fuel I use is Traxxas fuel and it's blue. Blue does not show up inside this green tubing. So I happen to have some fuel tubing laying around, so I replaced it with a clear one. Problem solved. One huge complaint I have about this kit is there is no choke button or primer button, whatever you want to call it, on the gas tank. There'd normally be one right here, and there is not one. So what the manual says is, oh, drop some nitro fuel inside the carburetor before you try and start it. But that's kind of a bummer. One other thing you can do is you can pull the recoil starter and hold down the exhaust pipe hole with your finger, and that'll cause some back pressure, theoretically, to push through here. One other thing is the directions say tighten down the low-speed needle until it stops and then turn it back 2.5 times. That's way, way wrong. We couldn't even get this thing to start until about 4 turns. And then even then, it was way too lean. We backed it out to like 5.5 turns, something like that, and it was way better. Other than that, I love this kit. It's a good-looking car. I'm a rally nut, and I've always wanted a rally car, and it's about as close as I'm going to get. Pretty much all the turnbuckles are adjustable. Your camber links here are adjustable. Yes, they are. Yes, those are adjustable. These need to come out a little bit, I think. On the back here, these two wheels, I feel like there is kind of too much toe in on the rear. No big deal, because these are adjustable. You can see this link here and this link here are adjustable. These balls in here are adjustable, and that's great. I think that's really great. This kit in the U.S. Retails for about $330, and that's pretty much the same as an HPI Nitro RS4 3 Evo Plus, which I also have. And this kit just seems better than the Evo Plus in every way. It seems to have a better engine, a better carburetor. Now, the Evo Plus does have a 2-speed transmission, but it's also a road car. Overall, I really like this kit. Really 1,000 times better. So good job, Kyosho. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.